Page 115. Precis writing. Make a precis of the following passage and provide a suitable title to it. Habits of idleness, once firmly fixed, cannot be suddenly thrown off. The man who has wasted the precious hours of life seed times finds that he cannot reap a harvest in life's autumn. Lost wealth may be replaced by industry, lost knowledge by study, lost health by temperance or medicine, but lost time is lost time is gone forever. In the long list of excuses for the neglect of duty, there is none which drops oftener from men's lips, or which is founded no more of self-delusion than the want of leisure. People are always cheating themselves with the idea that they would do this or that desirable things if only they had time. It is thus that the lazy and selfish excuse themselves from 1,000 things which conscience dictated to be done. Remember that the men who have done the most for their own and the general good are not the wealthy, leisurely people who have abundance of time to themselves and nothing to do. They are the men who are in ceaseless activity from January to December. Then, however, pressed with business, who are always found capable of doing a little more. You may rely on them in their busiest seasons with 10 times more assurance than an idle man. Title: The Evil Effect of Idleness. Precis. Idleness is the root of all evils that block the way to man's success. Those who are idle kill time, they neglect their work and fail to do anything. An idle man is averse to work. An idle man is averse to work, and this aversion to work seals his chance of prosperity. Industrious men alone achieve success, as industry is a key to success. Page 116. Make a precis of the following passage and provide a suitable title to it. It is almost a definition of gentleman to say that he is one who never inflicts pain. The description is both refined and, as far as it goes, accurate. He is mainly occupied in removing the obstacles which hinder the free action of those about him, and he conquers which their movement rather than takes the initiative himself. The true gentleman carefully avoids whatever may cause a jar or a jolt in the minds of those with whom he is cast off, clashing of opinion or collision of feeling, all restraint or suspicion of gloom or resentment. His great concern being to make everyone at his ease and at home. He has his eyes on all his company. He is tender towards the bashful and gentle towards the absurd. He can recollect to whom he is speaking. He guards against unreasonable allusions or topics which may irritate. He is seldom prominent in conversations and never wearisome. He makes light of favors while he does them and seems to be receiving when he is conferring. He never speaks of himself except when report. He has no ears for slander or gossip, is scrupulous in imputing motives to those who interfere with him, and interrupts everything for the best. Title: The Qualities of a True Gentleman. Preface: A true gentleman never creates problems for others. He always tries to help others to overcome their problems and remove their difficulties. He respects their feelings and opinions of others and stands away from doing anything that may hurt them. He is soft-hearted and kind, careful and pleasing in talks. Envy is unknown to him. He is sociable and polite and always at the good side of everything. Page 117. Make a preface of the following passage and provide a suitable title to it. A good book always teaches us something, in fact many things, directly or indirectly. The mind is willing to learn. Books are the best company. They also give us the best society. They help us in establishing contact with many great men. We hear what such men said and did. Through books, we even see them as if they were really alive. As we read, we share great thoughts with great minds. We hope and grieve with great men. The scenes in which they appeared are described for us, and as we turn the pages, we come to know what nobleness is. Books work as agents and help us in being better than we are. Even in books on the lives of common men, the power of literature is strongly felt. Such works help us in understanding life. Books should be regarded as friends and guides. Title: The Elevating Influence of Books. Preface: Books are man's best friends and introduce him into best society. They bring him into contact with great men whose thoughts and principles of life enrich his character. They teach what is better for him. They always guide him and guard him against going astray. Page 118. Make a preface of the following passage and provide a suitable title to it. What is education? It is much more than the knowledge we find in books. If a man is truly educated, he would have been shown how to lead a happy and useful life and to be a good citizen of the country in which he lives. Even more than that, a good citizen of the world. He will have learned how to behave towards other human beings by coming in touch with the active minds of his teachers and his fellow students. He will have discovered what kind of mind he himself had, and he will have become proud to do what he knows to be right. The cleverest man is not always the best educated. A wise man is one who is able to think clearly and then act in such a way that the best results follow. Knowledge is very useful, but knowledge itself does not make a man wise. We need a special kind of education which will train us to use our knowledge wisely. Title: The Value of Education in Life. Preface: Education is greater than knowledge. It makes man wise and gives an ideal character to a citizen. Man comes in contact with great minds while receiving education. Education also teaches man how to behave with others properly. It endows man with the power of right thinking. Education and knowledge combine to guide man rightly. Page 119. Make a preface of the following passage and provide a suitable title to it. All the evil in this world is brought out by persons who are always up and doing, but do not know when they out to be up or what they ought to be doing. The devil, I take it, is still the busiest creature in the universe, and I can quite imagine him denouncing laziness and becoming angry at the smallest waste of time. In his kingdom, I will wager nobody will be allowed to do nothing, not even for a single afternoon. The world, we all freely admit, is in a muddle, but I, for once, do it to think that it is laziness which has brought it to such a pass. It is not the active virtues that it lacks, but the passive ones. It is capable of anything but kindness and little steady thought. There is still plenty of energy in the world, but most of it is simply misdirected. Title: The Futility of Misdirected Energy. Precis. Those who are interested in others' affairs are always restless in all actions. The society cannot reap benefits from them as their working energies are misguided. Idleness is not good, but to direct energy to meaningless matters is nothing but wasteful tyranny. The properly guided energy produces good for the society. We would guard against the misuse of energy. Page 120. Make a precis of the following passage and provide a suitable title to it. Kind words cost us nothing, but all cannot say them. Kind words come from the depth of the heart. They best speak love and sympathy. Kind-hearted people always feel for others. They forget their own interests, so they naturally utter words of sympathy. What a lot of good is done by kind words. They clear up the sad heart. They bring joy and comfort to a man in trouble. They are indeed more valuable than money. Monetary help may make a man feel small, but kindness creates one such feeling. এটা নো হবে, আবার পড়ছি, but kindness creates no such feeling. We should learn to say kind words. We can hurt a man with an unkind word, but a kind word will help us make new friends. Title: Value of Kind Words. Precis. Kind words come from love and sympathy. They remove sadness and bring joy and hope for a shocked soul. Kind help never makes one feel small. Unkind words hurt one. Kind words make one happy and relieve an excited mind. Make a precis of the following passage and provide a suitable title to it. The world is like a looking glass. If you smile, it smiles. If you frown, it frowns back. If you look at it through a red glass, all seems red and rosy. If through a blue, all blue, and if through a smoked one, all dull and dingy. Page 121. Always try then to look at the bright side of things. There are some persons who smile, whose voice, whose very presence seem like a ray of sunshine that brightens the whole room. Greet everybody with a bright smile, kind words, and a pleasant welcome. It is not enough to love those who are near and dear to us. We must show that we do that. While enjoying the blessings of life, we cannot expect to have no sorrows or anxieties. Life we cannot expect to have Life is indeed a tragedy at times and comedy thereafter, but as a rule it is what we choose to make it. Title: Life reflected in our attitude. Precis, our behaviors reflect our life is as make it. Life is identified by our acts. Our optimism makes our life happy and pessimism sad. Joy and sorrow appear in life alternately. We should always be cheerful, amiable, friendly and loving in all gestures so that others become so to us. Make a preface of the following passage and provide a suitable title to it. Variety is the spice of life. Is it why? We all practically live and strive for having better food, but food remains insipid without the addition of spices. The only difference between a good curry and a bad curry lies in the presence or absence of spices. The absence of variety makes life drab and monotonous. A man working day in and day out will a shawl on the sixth day. কি বলছে রে বাবা এটা? আবার পড়ছি. A man working day in and day will a shawl on the sixth day. If a man lives in Calcutta for 6 years, he will like to spend a month outside. We have heard that Tagore could not live in the same house for a long time. He used to change his residence pretty often, which shows a poet's longing for novelty. Life is as a many-stringed instrument and we must give proper attention to all the strings. Ever since the creation, man has gone on from progress to progress by responding to new circumstances. So, for the development of civilization, new circumstances and new environments are necessary. Page 122. Title: Variety is the spice of life. Preface: Variety adds charms to life. Life loses its charms or zest if it is without variety. Variety is absolutely necessary for the pleasure of life. We long for change to break the monotony of life. It is change that brings development to life. Human progress and civilization are the product of this tendency to change. Make a preface of the following passage and provide a suitable title to it. The man who is perpetually hesitating which of the two things he will do first will do neither. The man who resolves but suffers his resolution to be changed by the first counter suggestion of a friend, who fluctuates from opinion to opinion, from plan to plan, and veers like a weathercock to every point of the compass with every breath of caprice that blows, can never accomplish anything great or useful. Instead of being progressive in anything, he will be at best stationary and more probably retrograde in all. It is only the man who first consults wisely, then resolves firmly, and then executes his purpose with inflexible perseverance, undismayed by those petty difficulties which daunt a weaker spirit, that can advance to eminence in any life. Take your course wisely but firmly, and having taken it, hold it with heroic resolution, and the Alps and the Himalayas will sink before you. Page 123. Title: Failure caused by unsteadiness. Preface: Steadiness and strong resolution brings success. A hesitating and unsteady man cannot succeed in reaching the target of his life. He who lacks the power of determination can achieve nothing. He who succeeds or achieves success is always guided by firm decision, which enables him to overcome all difficulties in the way of his success. Make a preface of the following passage and provide a suitable title to it. A great deal of talent is lost to the world for the want of a little courage. Every day sends to their graves a number of obscure men who have only remained obscure because their timidity has prevented them making a first effort, and who, if they could only have been induced to begin, would in all probability have gone great lengths to the career of fame. The fact is that to do anything in the world worth doing, we must not stand shivering on the bank and thinking of cold and danger, but jump in and scramble through as well as we can. It will not do the perpetually calculating risks and adjusting nice chances. If a man waits and doubts and hesitates and consults his brother and his uncle and his cousins and particularly friends, he one day finds that he is 65 years of age, that he has lost too much time in consulting first cousins and particularly friends, and that he has no more time left to follow their advice. Page 124. Title: Evil Effects of Hesitating Mind. Preface. Lack of courage and inspiration leads talented life to be spoiled. Though talent men are able to do noble works, they fail to do the same for want of courage. Much of their time and energy is wasted in calculation and hesitation. When they are determined to initiate any work, they do not have time to do it, thus they fail to prosper in life. Make a preface of the following passage and provide a suitable title to it. Liberty is not a personal affair only, but a social contract. It is an accommodation of interest in matters which do not touch anybody else's liberty, of course. I may be as free as I like. If I choose to go down the Strand in a dressing gown with long hair and bare feet, who will say me, you have liberty to laugh at me, but I have liberty to be indifferent to you. And if I have a fancy for dyeing my hair or wearing my moustache, or we wear a tall hat, a frock coat, and ask no man's permission, in all there and 1,000 other details, you and I please ourselves and ask no man's leave. We have a whole kingdom in which we rule alone, can do what we choose, be wise or ridiculous, harsh or easy, conventional or odd. But the moment we step out of that kingdom, our personal liberty of action becomes qualified by other people's liberty. Page 125. Title: Liberty in Society. Preface. Liberty is governed by society. It cannot be interpreted as absolute freedom to do anything that one likes. It is subject to social norms and restrictions. One's liberty must not infringe upon others' liberty. Liberty is a social contract. In purely personal matters, one may have full liberty, but in other cases, liberty is always restricted. In society, unrestricted liberty will create social anarchy and liberty will cease to exist. Make a preface of the following passage and provide a suitable title to it. Self-control is at the root of all virtues. Let a man give the rein to his impulses and passions, and from that moment he yields up his moral freedom. He is carried along the current of life and becomes that slave of his strongest desires for the time being. To be morally free, to be more than an animal, man must be able to resist his instinctive impulse, and this can only be done by the exercise of self-control. Thus, it is this power which constitutes other real distinction between physical and moral life and forms the primary basis of the individual character. In the Bible, praise is given not to the strong man who taketh the city, but to the stronger man who ruleth his own spirit. This stronger man is he who by discipline exercises a constant control over his thoughts, his speech, and his acts. 9/10 of the vicious desires that degrade society, and when indulged swell into the crime that disgrace it, would shrink into insignificance before the advance of valiant self-discipline, self-respect, and self-control. By the watchful exercise of these virtues, the purity of heart and mind becomes habitual, and the character is built up in chastity, virtue, and temperance. Title: Self-control, the basis for all virtues. Precis: self-control is the basis of all manly qualities. It enables man and elevates him such. It distinguishes man from animals. Without it, man is demoralized and cannot conquer animality, greed, crude desires, and aspirations. Man without self-control is equated with wild animals. If he controls effectively his thought, feeling, and desire, he will be able to attain true human qualities and thus regarded as an ideal man. Make a precis of the following passage and provide a suitable title to it. The inequality of personal incomes causes an inequality of status in the economic and social structure. The ownership of instruments of production is found to be under the control of the rich, and the latter often dictate terms to the laborers on inferior position in society and promotes class hatred with all its consequent evils. Again, it seldom brings an equality of political status, which is the essence of democracy. Page 127. There are several causes of this inequality in personal incomes. The fundamental causes is the difference in abilities possessed by men. All men do not possess higher ability in the sphere of production, must earn higher incomes in these days of competition. This, in a way, accounts for the difference in wealth possessed by different individuals. Title: Inequality, the root of social evils. Precis: inequality emanates from personal income. It creates social and economic discriminations, which consequently bring about class hatred. Democracy will cease to exist in society if inequality prevails there. Those who are endowed with higher abilities earn more. Thus they become richer day by day. Equality of personal incomes can alone control inequality in all spheres. এটা হবে equality of personal incomes can alone control inequality in all spheres. Make a precis of the following passage and provide a suitable title to it. Charity is universal duty which is in every man's power sometimes to practice, since every degree of assistance given to another on proper motives is an act of charity, and there is scarcely any man in such a state of weakness that he may not, on some occasions, benefit his neighborhood. He feels that he cannot relieve the poor, he may instruct the ignorant, and he that cannot attain the sick may reclaim the vicious. He who can give little assistance himself may yet perform the duty of charity by inflaming the order of others and recommending the petitions which he cannot grant to those who have more power to bestow. Page 128. The widow shall give her mite to the treasury, and the poor man who small bring to the thirsty cup of cold water shall not lose their reward. Title: Charity a Human Duty. Title: Charity a Human Duty. Preface. Charity is a noble act. It exists everywhere in the world. It is a human duty. It brings relief to the poor. Charity is possible through giving instruction and valuable lessons to the ignorant and the illiterate who reap much benefit from those. Charity is a divine quality. It is a spontaneous urge to help the needy. এই বইটি এখানে শেষ হলো।